What's going on, guys? In this video here, I want to talk to you guys about people who gossip. Now, I'm pretty sure many of you have relatives, or you may have people in your family who gossip, and they talk a lot of garbage and they talk a lot of junk about other people. But I'm here to tell you what I had to understand. And relatives are the best when it comes to this. Anyone who's talking junk about a person all the time, anyone who's constantly gossiping, talking crap about somebody, slandering a person's name, anybody who's always talking junk about a person, you better believe if a person is always gossiping about people, you better be careful of that person, because it's only an amount of time before they start gossiping about you. I don't like people who gossip, run their mouth, talk crap about people, because I feel people like that need to get a life. And I feel people like that are the true losers, because if you got time on your hands to sit around and talk garbage and gossip about people, that means that you're a loser and you don't have no motion. You need to get a life, get you some money. That's what you need to do. I've got relatives who sit around and gossip. You know, they get in cahoots and they talk crap about people, and they just constantly gossiping. This is why I don't deal with a lot of my relatives. Anybody who's constantly gossiping about people, you got to be careful of people like this. I've never been the type of person to sit around and just gossip and talk crap about people. I've never been that kind of person, because in all honesty, I believe the reason why I've never been that kind of person, because I'm too focused on my own self. I'm too focused on trying to level myself up. And I just never been the kind of person to sit around and just talk crap about people. You got some people, man, you know, they don't have no life. They don't have nothing better to do but to sit around, you know. How you doing? You know, they don't have nothing better to do, you know, but to sit around and they just gossip about people. Like, I got a grandmother, my mother's mom. She sits around and gossip and run her mouth about people. And you know, people like that are truly down bad in life, because if you got too much time on your hand. You know, if you just sitting around gossiping about people, running your mouth about people, it means you don't have a life. It means you don't have nothing to occupy your time. And it's a lot of people nowadays, in all honesty, they got the devil in them, man. I can't stress that enough. The devil is on an all-time rampage. The devil. I'm telling you, that devil, he is alive and well. The devil. The devil is definitely seeking who he may devour. You know, the devil is definitely seeking who he may devour nowadays, guys. And I'm telling you, this is why you got to be so careful out here, because that devil is on the rise, you know. And the devil, you know, he's after whoever he can get, you know, the devil nowadays. About to cross this street, y'all. Yeah. But yeah, y'all, um, it's a lot going on in today's world, y'all. Um, I hope y'all resonated with what I was saying in this presentation. Um, yeah. But yeah, y'all. Um, yeah, I just want y'all to know. I just want y'all to be mindful, of. I just want you guys to be mindful of. You know, I just want you guys to be mindful of people who do a lot of gossiping and, people who, you know, just be mindful of people who do a lot of gossiping and talking about people, because those same type of people will end up turning their backs on you. And I've overheard relatives, talking about me. I've heard these relatives talking crap about me, and these are people that's supposed to love and care for you, you know. These people are supposed to love and care for you. And I overheard these people talking crap about me. That just go to show you can't trust nobody, guys. You can't trust nobody. And people who gossip about people and run their mouth all the time, those type of people are messy, because those type of people have a demon that lives within them, and those type of people just want to create drama. So you got some people, they all about drama. They don't have nothing that's worth a flip going on in their life, so their whole game plan is to create drama and chaos. You have people like that, guys. They don't have nothing that's worth the flip going on in their life, so their whole game plan is to cause mayhem and drama in your life. And I can't deal with people that are gossiping and talking about people all the time, because I feel like if you're on your purpose, if you have a life, if you trying to elevate and go places and do things in life, if you're trying to move up in life, you don't have time for that kind of childish behavior. You just don't have time for that. And some people, in all honesty, man, they just have way too much time on their hands. They have too much time on their hands. They got way too much time on their hands. Because I just never understood why some people gossip and run their mouth about people. It's like, don't you got a life? Like, why aren't you concerned in leveling up your life? That's why I say, people who sit around talking about people, if you got people like that in your life, it's only a matter of time before they're going to talk about you. You need to cut them off. Cut them off. People who sitting around gossiping, they always got something negative to say. I'm telling you, you got to get rid of those types of people. You got to cut them people off. You got to get rid of those types of people. You got to just cut them off. Cut them people out of your life. That's why if I get the impression that a person is messy and they like gossiping and talking about people, I cut them out of my life. I stay away from them, because I know that they're no good. And that's a person that I don't need to deal with, because anybody that's running their mouth and talking crap all the time, those type of people stir up drama. Those type of people start chaos. And you don't want those types of people in your life. That's how fights get started. And in some cases, you got people who end up losing their life. People end up losing their life behind stuff like that. Talking about people and gossiping and stuff like that. That's why you don't want to be, you just don't want to be doing that kind of behavior. You know, all that gossiping and talking crap about folks, it's just not good. And anyone in your life that's doing that, you need to know that they have a demon that lives within them. And they can't help themselves. You know, they just can't help but sit around and gossip and talk crap about people. Some people just can't help themselves. It's the demons that live within them. Them demons. They cannot help themselves. They just gotta sit around. They gotta gossip. They gotta talk crap about people. That's why I'm a firm believer it's a demon. Just watch out for those types of people, because you don't want to leave any room for toxicity in your life. I mean, it's enough we got to deal with just by living in this world. So you don't want to make matters worse by having toxicity in your life, toxic people. This is why I say, guys, cut them off. Cut them off. Certain spirits just love to dwell in certain people. Certain energy just loves to dwell in certain people. I'm glad that I don't have no negative energy that's dwelling within me. I'm just not wired like most people in this world. And I believe that's why I find myself alone, because I'm just not wired like this, like a lot of people. A lot of people are just possessed by the devil. And people who always gossiping, cut them off. But you guys have a good evening.